Hello dear students, today I will start part 6 of unit 2 solution. After studying this part, you will be able to describe colligative properties of solutions and correlate these with molar masses of the solutes. This is most important topic of this chapter. From this topic, one numerical of 3 marks is asking the board examinations. The colligative properties which you have to know are relative lowering of vapor pressure of the solvent, depression of freezing point of the solvent, elevation of boiling point of the solvent, and osmotic pressure of the solution. The first three properties relate to solvent, and fourth property is osmotic pressure which relate to solution. This you have to know properly. This lecture contains two colligative properties. First, relative lowering of vapor pressure of solvent, and second, elevation of boiling point of the solvent. Here we have to study these two properties and the numericals and some questions which are based on these property we will also discuss here. Now first of all we have to know that what is the colligative properties, that is Cp. Colligative word came from Latin, that co means together and ligar means to bind. Since these properties are bound together through their common origin, that origins are basically number of particles, that's why they are known as colligative properties. Now definition you have to know for examinations. Those properties of solution which depend upon the number of solute particles, that is concentration of solute particles, that is amount of particles, but are independent of nature of solute, that is it is not depend upon the nature of solute. You are taking glucose or urea, it only depend upon the particles. Now we can summarize colligative properties and their dependence like this. Colligative property directly proportional to number of solute particles, either directly proportional to number of molecules. In case of non-electrolytes such as sugar, the molecule may be 1 mole, 2 mole, 3 mole. Then directly proportional to number of ions. In case of electrolytes such as NaCl, K2SO4, in NaCl 2 ions are present, in K2SO4 3 ions are present. Also directly proportional to number of moles of solute, and also we can say that colligative properties also directly proportional to mole fraction of solute. So this you have to know and understand properly on which colligative properties are present base. Next, the colligative properties which you have to learn in the chapter solution are relative lowering of vapor pressure of solvent, depression of freezing point of solvent, elevation of boiling point of solvent, and osmotic pressure of solution. The colligative properties also relate like this: directly proportional to relative lowering of vapor pressure RLVP, directly proportional to osmotic pressure OP, directly proportional to elevation of boiling point EBP, directly proportional to depression in freezing point DFP, directly proportional to boiling point, inversely proportional to vapor pressure, that is more the number of particles, less will be the vapor pressure. This I have told you in the lecture for vapor pressure. Then inversely proportional to freezing point, that is more the colligative property, less will be the freezing point. Then also inversely proportional to molecular mass of solute, more the mass of solute molecules, more will be the less will be the colligative property. Note, colligative properties are the properties of only dilute solution. This you have to understand because they are supposed to behave as ideal solution. That means this property we learn about the ideal solution. Second thing you have to note down, the fundamental cause of colligative properties are higher entropy of solution relative to that of pure solvent. That is, in one point, we can define the region of colligative properties or higher entropy. As I have told you, the solvent molecules are occupied by solute molecules that produce disorder. That's why solution have higher entropy. So these you have to learn, understand properly. Now, first colligative properties, relative lowering of vapor pressure for non-volatile solute. Here the solute should be non-volatile, that may be sugar, glucose, urea. I also told you about the volatile, non-volatile. Volatile means they have tendency to form vapor, just like water, petrol, and non-volatile means they do not come in the form of vapor. Now, when a non-volatile solute, here the solute taken in the form of B, is dissolved in a liquid, the vapor pressure of solution becomes lower than the vapor pressure of pure solvent. This I also told you. Now the surface of solvent molecules are occupied by some solute particles which are non-volatile. That's why the less vapor come from the solvent and hence vapor pressure of that liquids become lower. Now according to Raoult's law, as I have told you, here only the vapor pressure of solvent, solute have no vapor pressure because of solute are non-volatile. So here P1 equal to P01 x1, that is partial pressure of solvent is equal to partial pressure of pure solvent multiplied by mole fraction of that solvent. Now the reduction in vapor pressure of solvent, the delta P1 is given as delta P1 equal to the vapor pressure of pure solvent minus vapor pressure of solution. This will give P01 minus P01 x1, as we know that P1 equal to P01 x1. This equal to P01 in bracket 1 minus x1. This equal to, I have told you, 1 minus x1 equal to x2. So that's why this become P01 x2. Now on dividing delta P1 divided by P01, this equal to x2. Here delta P1 is P01 minus P1. That's why we get the formula P01 minus P1 divided by P01. This equal to x2, the mole fraction of solute. And you know that x2 equal to N2 divided by number of mole of solute divided by number of mole of solution, that is N1 plus N2. In term of weight, we can write like this: W2 by M2 is number of mole of solute divided by W1 by M1 plus W2 by M2. If mass is given, so we use this formula. If number of mole is given, we use N2 divided by N1 plus N2 formula. Here you can neglect N2 from denominator if the concentration of solute is less than 5%. In that condition, P01 minus P1 divided by P01 become N2 divided by N1. Next, relative lowering of vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute is equal to the mole fraction of the solute. This is the definition of relative lowering of vapor pressure, where P01 minus P1 is lowering of vapor pressure, X2 is the mole fraction of solute, and P01 minus P1 divided by P01 is relative lowering of vapor pressure. So lowering relate to the pure components, that's why this is called relative lowering of vapor pressure. Here W1 and W2 are the masses, and M1 and M2 are the molar masses of solvent and solute, one for solvent, two for solute respectively. Since relative lowering of vapor pressure depend on the number of moles, so it is also known as colligative property. So sometime one question is asking, how can you say that relative lowering of vapor pressure is a colligative property? So you can write the formula and show that they relate to the number of mole, that is mole fraction also. That's why it is colligative property. Here danger sign means you have to more focus the difference between the P01 minus P1 is known as lowering of vapor pressure, but P01 minus P1 divided by P01 is relative lowering of vapor pressure. So here you have to focus these 2 points much more. That's why I give the sign of danger. So many mistakes are there in understanding these 2 points. That's why I show like this. Now examples. 1. Two liquids A and B form an ideal solution. At 300 Kelvin, the vapor pressure of solution containing 1 mole of A and 3 mole of B is 550 mmHg. At the same temperature, if 1 mole of B is added to this solution, so the vapor pressure of solution increases by 10 mm of Hg. Determine the vapor pressure of A and B in the pure state. So now we can solve like this. Let the vapor pressure of pure A be P0 A and the vapor pressure of B be P0 B. The total pressure of solution, first time 1 mole of A and 3 mole of B is equal to XA P0 A plus XB P0 B. XA is the mole fraction of A and XB is the mole fraction of B. Here the total pressure in first case given 500 and the mole fractions, total mole is 4. That's why mole fraction for A is 1 by 4 and for B is 3 by 4. Now putting these value, we can calculate equation 1, 2200 equal to P0 A plus 3 P0 B like this. In second case, total vapor pressure of solution of, now the mole of B is 4, region 1 mole of B is added. So similarly, we get 560 in that time vapor pressure. Now the total number of mole is 5. That's why 1 by 5 P0 A plus 4 by 5 P0 B. This will give the equation second. Now solving equation first and second, we got P0 B equal to 600 mm of Hg, the vapor pressure of B, and P0 A equal to 400 mm of Hg, that is vapor pressure of pure A. So like this type questions may be asked in the board examinations, and you have to answer like this. Second examples, vapor pressure of water at 298 Kelvin is 17.535 mmHg. Calculate pressure of water at 293 Kelvin when 25 gram of glucose is dissolved in 450 gram of water. Here mass is given, glucose, molar mass of glucose is 180 by the formula mass, and the mass of water solvent given 450 gram of water, and the molar mass of water is 18 gram per mole by the formula mass. Here P01, that is pure pressure, is given 17.535 mmHg. Let the vapor pressure of solution be P1. So by applying the relative lowering of vapor formula, P01 minus P1 divided by P01 equal to x2. We write like this: 1 minus P1 divided by P01 equal to x2. Here P1 equal to P01, 1 minus x2 equal to P01 x1. Now putting the value, P01 given and x1 is basically the mole fraction of solvent here. So here W1 divided by M1, then divide by total number of mole, that W1 by M1 plus W2 by M2. So mass of solvent given 450 and mass of solute given 25 gram. So here 450 divided by 18. Some mistakes is there. W1 divided by W2. W1 divided by M1. That means number of mole of solvent divided by number of mole of solute plus solvent. So 450 divided by 18, then divided by 25 by 180, the molar mass of glucose, and 450 mass of water divided by 18 gram per mole, the molar mass of water. Now we got the answer by calculate this: 17.438 mmHg. This is approximate equal to 17.44 mmHg. So like this you also calculate the answer. Read the question properly and try to do the answer like this. Now boiling points. So before knowing the elevation boiling points, first of all we have to know about what are the boiling points. So the temperature at which vapor pressure of liquid or solution become equal to atmospheric pressure. The ATM pressure may be 1 atm, or in bar 1.013 bar, or in mmHg 760 mmHg. These are related to atmospheric pressure. In that condition, that temperature is known as boiling point. Just like for water, the boiling point at 1 atm of water is 100 degree. That means at 100 degree, water in the form of liquid and water in the form of gas both are exist. Now molar elevation constant, the symbol is Kb. The elevation in boiling points of the solution when its molality is unity, it is also known as molar ebullioscopic constant and represented by Kb. Its unit is K, that is Kelvin per molality, or Kelvin kg per mole. So these 2 points you have to know with their definitions. Now come on the elevation in boiling points, that is change in boiling points. Delta TB, delta for change, T for temperature, and B for boiling. The boiling point of a solution is always higher than that of pure solvent. Reason: when non-volatile solute is added, the sum surface area of solvent are occupied by solute molecules. That's why at same temperature they generate less vapor. So for boiling this solvent, we have to increase the temperature. That's why solution have more boiling point than the pure solvent. Look the graph. Here 3 lines are drawn, one at P0, second P1, P2, similarly T0, T1 and T2. So this graph is drawn between vapor pressure and temperature. Now assuming that solutions are very dilute, so these curve may be approximately taken as a straight line near the boiling point. So thus in triangle ACE, look the triangle ACE, one more triangles are there, ABD are similar. In that condition, AC by AB equal to AE by AD, that is T2 minus T naught divided by T1 minus T naught. This equal to P naught minus P2 divided by P naught minus P1, that is delta T2 divided by delta T1 equal to delta P2 divided by delta P1, that indicate delta T directly proportional to delta P, that is change in temperature is directly proportional to change in pressure. Now from Raoult's law we know that delta P is directly proportional to mass of solute divided by molar mass of solute and weight of solvent. This is proportional to molality. Here Wt is weight of solute, M2 is molecular weight of solute, W1 weight of solvent. In that condition, delta P directly proportional to molality of the solution. Similarly, we can write like this: delta T directly proportional to molality of solution. If we remove the molar proportionality sign, to we get one constant, that is known as Kb. In that condition, we get the formula delta Kb, delta Tb is equal to Kb multiplied by molality, where delta Tb equal to boiling point of solution, that Tb minus boiling point of pure solvent T naught B. So for delta Tb, Tb minus T naught B. Kb is molar elevation constant or boiling point elevation constant or ebullioscopic constant. This I have explained here. M equal to molality of the solution. Molality is the temperature independent quantity because it involves mass. So now we can write the formula and also use this formula in the examinations. Derivation is not required. To understand from where this formula came, I have explained this. Just you have to learn only this formula. Delta Tb equal to Kb multiplied by W2 into 1000 divided by M2 into W1. One more thing you have to focus. Here W1 should be in gram. If it is in kilogram, then you have to change. For molar mass, M2 equal to Kb multiplied by W2 into 1000 divided by delta Tb into W1. Delta Tb can be also find from Tb minus T naught B. This you have to learn properly. Here so many mistakes are there when you solving delta Tb problem. So here delta Tb equal to Tb minus T naught B. Okay dear students, got it? Now next question based on elevation in boiling points. Question number first. Try to understand the questions and also try to understand the answer. Out of 1 capital M means molarity, that is molar glucose and 2 molar glucose, which one has higher boiling points and why? So as I have told you, colligative property and boiling point is also depend upon number of particles. More the number of particles, more will be the boiling points. That's why the solution is the elevation in boiling point of a solution is a colligative property which depend upon number of moles of solute added. That is, higher the concentration of solute added, higher will be the elevation in boiling point. Thus, here TH are left. Thus, 2 capital M glucose has higher boiling point than 1 molar glucose solution. So as you know that colligative property depend upon number of particles. That's why 2m glucose have more boiling point than 1m glucose solution. So this type of question you have to solve like this. Got it? Now next question. Why does a solution containing non-volatile solute have higher boiling point than the pure solvent? Again same things I have told you. Now the surface of solvent molecules are occupied by non-volatile solute. That's why they decrease the surface area of solvent molecules. So like that you have to write the answer. Why the elevation of boiling point is a colligative property? There two questions is asking. So now the solutions are: the boiling point of solution is always higher than that of pure solvent, as the vapor pressure of solution is lower than that of pure solvent, and vapor pressure increases with increase in temperature. Hence the solution has to be heated more to make the vapor pressure equal to the atmospheric pressure. As I told you, the surface molecules of solvent are covered by solute molecules which are non-volatile. That's why it decreases the vapor and hence also decrease the vapor pressure. So that's why we have to increase the temperature. Now answer second part of this question. Elevation of boiling point is a colligative property because it depends upon the number of solute particles present in the solution in the term of molality. So that type of answer you have to write also. So first of all, you have to understand the question properly, what they are asking, and then try to focus on to write the answer properly. Next, question number third. Will the elevation in boiling points be same if 0.1 mole of sodium chloride or 0.1 mole of sugar is dissolved in 1 liter of water? If the solvent are same, moles are also same, but the solutes are different. One solute is, both solutes are basically non-volatile, but one solute is electrolyte that dissociate into the water, and the sugar is non-electrolyte, they do not dissociate into the water. So that's why after dissociation more number of particles are there, and I told you the boiling point elevation depend upon the number of particles. That's why sodium chloride have more boiling point. Now focus on the answer. Will the elevation, that means no, the elevation in boiling point is not same. Now reason, NaCl being electrolytes, electrolyte means that dissociate into the medium, that is aqueous medium. Electrolytes may be two types, weak electrolytes and strong electrolytes. If 100% dissociate, so that electrolytes is known as strong electrolytes. If the electrolytes do not dissociate 100%, that is partial dissociation take place. In that condition, electrolytes are known as weak electrolytes. For example, acetic acid. Now here, NaCl being an electrolytes dissociates almost completely to give Na plus and Cl minus ion, because this electrolyte is strong electrolyte, whereas glucose being non-electrolytes, non-electrolyte means which do not dissociate into the ions, glucose, sucrose, urea, these are the non-electrolytes. Here glucose being non-electrolyte does not dissociate, hence the number of particles of 0.1 capital M, here capital M's, because the solvent is water, that's why here volume are taken, that's why we write molarity. So 0.1 M NaCl solution is nearly double than 0.1 mole glucose solution. Therefore, elevation in boiling point being a colligative property is therefore nearly twice for 0.1 capital M NaCl solution than for 0.1 capital M glucose solution. Are you getting this? So you have to focus the number of particles for colligative properties. Got it? Now next, numerical based on elevation boiling points. The boiling point of benzene is 353.23 Kelvin when 1.80 gram of a non-volatile solute was dissolved in 90 gram of benzene. The boiling point is raised to 354.11 Kelvin. Calculate the molar mass of solute. Here Kb for the benzene is given 2.53 Kelvin kg per mole. As you know that the Kb is the property of solvent. Here benzene is the solvent. Now look the conditions. You have to find the molar mass of solute. So we know that one formula, delta Tb equal to Kb multiplied by W2 multiplied by 1000 divided by M2 multiplied by Wn. Now first of all we have to find the delta Tb. So this can be calculated from Tb minus T naught B. Tb means solution. Now here given the solution temperature 354.11 minus the pure solvent, that is T naught B 353.23 Kelvin. By this we get delta Tb equal to 0.88 K, that means Kelvin. The difference either in degree centigrade or in Kelvin should be same. That's why you can write either 0.88 K or 0.88 degree centigrade. Putting these values in the formula, we can calculate M2 Kb into W2 into 1000 divided by W1 into delta Tb. Kb given, W2 is also given 90 gram, 1.8 gram, W1 given 90 gram, solvent mass benzene, and delta Tb we find from delta Tb minus Tb minus T naught B. Now putting these value, we can find the molar mass of solute by calculating these values. We get the answer 58 gram per mole. So this type of questions may be asked in the board examination. So you have to write the answer like this way. Now last question, question number 5. Again it is also numerical. 18 gram of glucose, molar mass given, formula is also given. It dissolved in 1 kg of water. Here the mass of water is given in a saucepan, that is just like plate. At what temperature will this solution boil? Here the asking the solution boiling point, that is Tb. Kb for the water given. Boiling point of pure water is also given 373.15 Kelvin. So first of all we have to find the delta Tb, and then from delta Tb putting the value delta Tb equal to Tb minus T naught B, we find the Tb. Now moles of glucose, mass of glucose divided by molar mass of glucose. Mass is given 18 gram and molar mass also given 180 gram per mole. That's why we find the value of number of moles 0.1 mole. Now mass of solvent W1 equal to given 1 kg, that is equal to 1000 gram. Thus molality of glucose solution equal to number of mole divided by weight of solvent. Here number of mole given 0.1 mole and weight of solvent given 1 kg. That's why the molality equal to 0.1 mole per kg. Now for water, change in boiling points, delta Tb equal to Kb into molality. Here molality we can find, that's why we put this formula. Now Kb is given 0.52 Kelvin kg per mole and 0.1 mole per kg. Here mole cancel by mole, kg cancel by kg. That's why we get the answer in Kelvin. So delta TB equal to 0.052 Kelvin. Since water boils at 373.15 Kelvin at 1.013 bar pressure or 1 atm pressure, therefore the boiling point of solution will be that delta TB equal to TB minus T naught B. Hence TB equal to delta TB plus T naught B. By putting this value, we get the answer 373.202. Now students, these two properties are much more important in respect of this chapter. So that's why you can learn this from this lecture and also try to note whatever I am given in the lecture in the copy. This will be beneficial also for your board examinations. Also read NCERT book and try to do the answer given in the NCERT in-text question. Also see the examples related to the topics and also exercise questions. Stay home, stay healthy and keep learning. Thank you.